The best 2 minutes I watched on YouTube this week was Carolina Zabrowska's Pride and Prejudice podcast. Sure, it was short, but it was so good. I've only been watching her stuff here and there, but I really should just play all of her videos. Her subscribership is like 1 million plus. I expect it would be time well spent, or as well as any time can be spent on YouTube. Oh, outside of the amazing, not-to-be-missed winningness that is Inkworks, I mean. Whew, that was a save for the ages. Hi, I'm Irene. As you've probably figured out, this is a gouache painting session. Caran gouache, to be precise. So far, you've gotten a look at the paints and brushes I plan to use on this project. Actually, I pulled out all of my gouache brushes and chose a few from the bunch. They are from the Select and Snap series from Princeton. I know it looked like a lot, and it is actually, but fortunately, Select and Snap are two of Princeton's most affordable series. I like to use somewhat firm brushes for this medium, so I'm really glad to have them. My most recent acquisitions are a number 10 flat shader and a number 4 pointed filbert. I never knew there was such a thing as a pointed filbert. Those two plus a 3/4 inch angle shader and a number 8 filbert were what I decided on. I actually ended up not using that number 8 filbert, so I cut out the part where I discovered a couple of human hairs wrapped around the brush handles. Usually I'm okay with a warts and all approach, but even I have limits, just trying to keep it classy. So I'm having fun with this Caran gouache set. It's set up in a way that's really convenient. I'd recommend it to anyone just starting out in this medium, because the way I see it, paint in pans is an easier entry point than paint in tubes. It's interesting that the Caran gouache name also pops up in the world of fountain pens. Looking at their website, it appears that they don't have anything for entry-level fountain pens, though. At least nothing under $40. And their bottles of inks are over $30, which seems quite high when compared with other brands. But I gather they're targeting the higher-end pen market. But here's the thing. This paint palette is what I'd consider entry-level, and it's reasonably priced. So why can't Caran gouache do something similar with their fountain pens and inks? There was no real plan for this piece. Mostly it was a bit of therapy. I wanted to move my headspace from cold and dark winter to warm and bright spring. Maybe that was brought on by a recent unexpected snowfall. Well, unexpected to me. Admittedly, I wasn't keeping tabs on the forecast, so there may very well have been plenty of warnings. I don't know. I've got enough on my plate trying to collect framed BFF photos from my Animal Crossing neighbors. Rocco and Tipper are being difficult. So I just let this happen, freeform style. Any active deliberation going on was mainly about which colors would improve my mood. I like to think that I'm an even-tempered and well-balanced person, but we all have a little crazy inside, right? Some just hide it better than others. I mean, have you ever gotten on a shared computer right after someone else? The YouTube suggestions are filled with topics you'd never thought to search for. Why is my eye twitching? Rude gestures around the world. Floor food rule. 5, 10, 15 seconds. Which is it? Wait, That last one was mine. Yes, I'd heard that Daniel Smith is a new player in the Gouache game, which is nice to hear, and I'm interested in trying their gouache paints at some point. But with both Caran and Holbein in my arsenal, I'm honestly not in any hurry. Tonight is Costco Quiche night. If you aren't familiar, Costco sells a prepared and refrigerated quiche 2-pack for, I think it's like $12 or $13. When we first discovered it, it was a better deal at closer to $10, but it's since creeped up a bit. While both are tasty, we prefer the spinach and artichoke over the cheddar and broccoli. Each one is enough for 4 civilized servings or 2 savage servings. What we do is put one in the freezer and cook the other. A quarter slice of quiche, several sausage links, and a small green salad makes a satisfying supper for the both of us. And the other half of the quiche can get finished off as the next day's breakfast or lunch. Basically, quiche is a savory custard tart, often with diced vegetables, meat, or cheese. It's considered a French dish, but some say its origins date back to medieval Germany. Regardless, it's delicious. But I recall quiche's reputation took quite a hit in the early 1980s with the publication of a book titled Real Men Don't Eat Quiche. I never read it. I was only like 12 at the time, but I was aware of the brouhaha that resulted. Intended as satire, it apparently poked fun at masculine stereotypes, but the title was catchy and relevant due to quiche's rising popularity in the U.S. The B-52s even recorded a song called Quiche Lorraine. Never mind that it was about a dog rather than a dish. The point is, Real Men Don't Eat Quiche became a best-selling book, and then it became a meme that some people took way too seriously. So there's today's American culture lesson for our younger viewers who weren't subjected to, privileged to, grow up in the 70s and 80s. Speaking of the 70s, I rewatched the movie, The Ice Storm. The story is fascinating, yes, but the 1970s period details are fantastic. From the clothing to the furniture and architecture, it's all very well done. Of all Ang Lee's films, The Ice Storm and Eat, Drink, Man, Woman are my favorites. I'm also a fan of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but that one is such an emotional ride, making it hard for me to re-watch. Of course, The Ice Storm has its share of drama and angst. It reminds me of the PBS docuseries An American Family. I believe it's credited as being the first reality show. It followed the lives of a middle-class family in early 1970s California. I was still a toddler at the time and only watched it when it was re-aired decades later. But when it first aired, I understand it was pretty controversial, as it involved the topics of divorce and homosexuality. So, you see, when my mind starts down the 1970s path, it becomes a melange of memories, from movies to PBS to album covers, such as 10cc's How Dare You? I love that cover. It's not particularly attractive, but it hints at an ugly family drama. It's the 1,000 words in a picture thing. It might not be their best album, but it has a couple of my 10cc favorites, Lazy Ways and Don't Hang Up. Talk about emotional rides. That last song starts out regretful and conciliatory, swings to angry and accusatory, has an upbeat intermezzo, then ends with a mid-sentence hang-up, signifying it's over. There's an obscure gem of a music video to go with Don't Hang Up, but you might know the band better for the song I'm Not in Love. That was probably their biggest hit. And just like that, the video is nearly over. See, that's what happens when you encourage the shy gal. The floodgates open and you can't shut her up. I'm happy to share this exercise in abstract gouache. It fulfilled its purpose of brightening my day. Hopefully, you got something out of it too. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay artsy, my friends.